you're working on a thesis, I understand.
I am.
Tell us a word or two about your thesis.
So
Have you found time to start it yet, or
I
did you
know,
finish
right?
it like in one day?
Slash like, okay, sure, you got 30 seconds. Tell us about the 100-page work that you've been working on for almost a year. Yeah. My senior thesis is really related. It's about how religious and secular students engage with controversial topics differently on college campuses. So I ran a nationally representative survey over the summer asking folks about, in particular, their behavior around censorship and speech on campus. So a lot of the surveys out there, I think Heterodox included, asks about people's reluctance or fear to kind of speak out about different topics. I'm really interested in the actual behavior. Like, a lot of people can be
Nice.
reluctant, but people can do it anyway, right? So I wanted to know,
Nice.
what are people actually doing and how does it break down religious and secular? And there's a lot of data limitations that I'm happy to chat about, but broadly speaking, the outcome was it actually looks like religious students on 4 out of the 5 measured axes are more willing to engage across differences proactively and are less likely to punish others for their kind of dissenting perspectives. And so I'm arguing that we need to kind of re-examine the framework of deliberative democracy that's predicated on a public-private divide and leads to consensus, to think more about a model of mutual understanding that's both more inclusive of religious students and also, centers relationships and trust building and can lead to consensus as well when it's necessary.
And that's a great summary of a 100-page dissertation. If it's true that religious students are more open-minded in those ways, do you have a hypothesis for why? Could it be connected to something we were talking about before about having a sense of what one's boundaries are, kind of knowing in some anchored sense where one's going to be? Is that a hypothesis you'd entertain, or do you describe hypotheses to
I
explain it?
do. And there's a couple, there's a paradoxical hypothesis of what you just said, which is my first idea was, well, maybe religious students are really confident in what they believe. Either they think God told them so or their tradition tells them so. And so therefore it's a little bit less scary to hear new perspectives because it doesn't feel like they're going to have to change their mind. They're like, I'm right. And therefore I can learn this new thing without it threatening who I am. But there's research on curiosity that suggests that confidence actually makes curiosity harder, that confidence is kind of is challenged by curiosity, that people who are less confident are more curious. So I was speaking with my advisor about this. His name is David Holland. If anybody's familiar with him, he's fantastic. And he suggested that actually, religious people, question their faith all the time, right? We think of them sometimes as really, really confident, but actually a lot of us, I'm religious myself. I've thought about whether God exists like maybe once a month for most of my life, right? So
Right.
if we're always questioning these really fundamental things, maybe we have practice. Religious students have more practice engaging with these really unsettling kind of cognitive dissonance experiences, and that makes us more able to engage in the public square.